Promote your brand here at Viral Hip Hop News. Email me, sam@thehiphopnews.com. No, wait, let's go.
Nipsey had to be worth generating $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
Your laws made it where that man, your unconstitutional statutes in California, we've seen that Sheriff Villanueva in LA County was doing a pay-to-play thing, giving licenses to carry to the people that was his friends, right? We've seen Nipsey, in the 60s and those guys, that area being targeted. So these guys was like, I don't want to go to jail for an unconstitutional state statute that is in opposition to the supreme law of the land. I say Nipsey's estate should sue the state of California. But when I start saying this shit, the hood start going, oh shit, that's true. Yeah, it's true. But don't nobody say this to the community like this. I don't give a fuck what an unconstitutional statute says. This place, the Bill of Rights, is a list of rights that you have as a human. You are naturally, I didn't make these rules. The founders to this place did. They literally said, this is a list of things that the government cannot grant you these rights and they cannot take them away. The first one is the freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. Imagine if people said, well, we do need to be able to curb speech. No, we don't. I have the freedom of speech. Now, someone has the freedom to disassociate. Right. But imagine if somebody said you need to have a license to speak. You would be like, what the fuck? They were all up in arms. But somehow when it comes to the very next one, Second Amendment on the Bill of Rights of the Constitution of the United States, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. My state, Pennsylvania, Article 1, Section 21 says the right of the people, Pennsylvania, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be questioned. Don't ask me a motherfucking question. But somehow they convince black people that this shit ain't supposed to be for us. We are the most libertarian people ever. We don't want the government involved in our shit. We don't want the government taking more and more of our money. We don't want the police showing up unless we fucking call you. Yeah. Every black person should be a libertarian. We against the war on drugs. You mean to tell me, shouts to AR Ab. You mean to tell me AR Ab got sentenced to 42 years for nonviolent drug charges? No homicide. He never, that ain't have nothing to do with no homicide. So you mean to tell me a motherfucker that want the heroin, want the dog food, want the powder, want the soft, want the hard, they want this. You got the product, they got the money. That's called commerce. So while you saying that shit to me, right? And I'm not saying, listen, the moral, I don't shoot heroin, I don't sell H, none of that. But what I'm saying to you is each person, when you're talking about freedom, like the founding fathers was talking about, who took drugs, who had hemp farms, who took opium. That's what these dudes did. You don't get as the government to determine who gets to do that. And if you telling the hood that they wouldn't be in alignment with that, it's not like if heroin, think about this. If heroin was legal tomorrow, right? Nobody that's going to watch this interview would be like, you know what? It's legal now, so I'm going to go get on H. Nobody would fucking do that. But we will be like, yo, if you want to shoot it, yo, he sell it and whatever. And all it means was people wouldn't be going to jail for it. Non-violent, voluntary exchanges. Mm-hmm. So when I start talking like this why Charlamagne in the Breakfast Club won't have me on. Because now we talk, this is why y'all servers going magically like something going to happen with this interview or some shit, right? The reality is there's the potential to fuck up a lot of our ops money. There's money in scaring people into like not saying certain things because it's control. There's money in convincing black people to only vote a particular way. And I'm not saying you got to go Republican. I'm a libertarian. It's the third largest political party in the country. There's money in keeping the war on drugs going, telling people that like it's really good for the community when in reality we've been the targets of the war on drugs. It's money in sending motherfuckers to jail for that war on drugs. It's money in telling people that they are supposed to do what the government tell them, and that's the exact opposite of what the framing and founding documents to this place is. So I'm gonna fuck up a lot of money by telling people like you should know the Constitution, you should definitely have a lawyer on standby. That money you spent at the strip club, you better put a fucking constitutional and criminal lawyer on retainer. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell people the truth. I'm going to tell people they should be looking back into Johnny Cochran's work with the Reparations Assessment Group. I'm going to tell the hood that. And if y'all don't fuck with it, cool, don't. But I'm just telling you, it's nothing in this interview that someone from where we from is going to disagree with me on. They might give some pushback around drugs, but they're giving that pushback on a moral perspective because they don't want to take drugs. Cool. But what you don't want, you don't want. That don't mean that person don't want it. Because if that was the case, at least 100,000 people a year die from. I smoke cigars. That shit is cancer. Mm-hmm. So why that one? Okay, white sugar is 6 times more addictive than cocaine. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yep. Damn.
Think about that. Everybody should read Nutricide. God bless the dead to Dr. Laila Africa. You know what I'm saying? So these are the things that, going back a bit, why the conversation has to be refined. I'll be more dangerous when I start wearing like suits and looking like Obama and like doing my hair all the time and like making it look corporate. That's my next phase. Then that's where the real danger will come. Right now, they kind of like he's not really a threat. You know what I'm saying? And I don't got enough bread yet. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm waiting for the Illuminati to come give me $800 million. You know what I'm saying? Then I'm going to stop talking. But
right.